Okay, I'm live. I'm always fixing my shirt right before I come on. Hello, you guys. It is our evening tuck-in time. Hopefully, some of you can join me and keep me company while we read this good message. I need to figure out how to go ahead and alert you all that I'm going live. I got to figure out how to do that. But nevertheless, we are here and we are continuing reading Iyanla Vanzant's book, One Day My Soul Just Opened Up. And the purpose of this tuck in time is to allow you to discover your healing and to allow you to experience some of the books that I read on my healing journey so you can continue or dive deeper or begin your healing process. So that is what we're doing. Hopefully, you have had a wonderful day and you are tucking yourself in and you can listen to this good word and let it sink into your subconscious mind. Now, the other thing I want to say, I made a video earlier today at the pool, and afterwards, my daughter was like, "Why are you shouting? Why were you so loud?" And I guess this microphone really works. I figured I was outside, I needed to talk louder. But when I listened to it back, it did kind of sound like I was talking really loud. So I apologize for that if you listen to that. So, right now, we're going to read from the book, and we're on day 7, and day 7 is talking about peacefulness. So, a couple of you gave me an idea to use a music stand to hold the book up because my neck's been hurting from looking down. So, my daughter set up this music stand right here. So, we are going to try this tonight and see how it works. So, hopefully, there will be no mishaps when I'm turning the page or something like that. Okay, so let's begin. Um, Iyanla Vanzant's book, One Day My Soul Just Opened Up. Day 7, Honor the Divine with Peacefulness. Working definition. The principle we are working with today is peace. It is an eternal state of harmony and tranquility derived from the awareness of peace. Thought, word, and deed produced in response to a desire to create, promote, or maintain a state of peace. Commentary on peacefulness. My friend Joya told me a story about a woman and some birds that gave me great insights on peacefulness. She heard the story from her guru Swami Chidavallasanda, widely known as Guru Mai, a teacher of the Siddha Yoga tradition. One day, a woman went to the park to meditate. She found a quiet, sunny place, spread her blanket, and sat down. She closed her eyes, breathed deeply, and was prepared to begin an inward exploration of her thoughts and feelings. As her breathing became regulated and her mind still, she became aware of some birds chirping near her. At first, it was a melodic and peaceful addition to her inward journey. Within moments, however, the birds began to squawk, almost scream at each other. As the woman tried to stay focused on her breathing, the birds seemed to squawk louder and louder. The woman's eyes flew open. There were at least 20 birds sitting around her, screeching at each other. She looked around, and the rest of the park was empty. Half heartedly, with a flinging gesture of her hands, the woman shooed the birds away. Some laughed, some remained. Those who remained became very quiet until she closed her eyes. It seemed as if the second she closed her eyes, the birds started screeching again. Quite annoyed, the woman got up and moved. The birds flew away. Upon finding another prime spot of grass, the woman sat down to begin the process all over again. As soon as she did, the birds came back. "This is ridiculous," the woman said to the birds. "Shoo, shoo, go on, get out of here." The birds flew a little higher, but in a seeming act of defiance, they continued to squawk. Totally pissed off with the birds for disturbing her peace, the woman stood up and began to chase the birds. She would run to the left and fling her blanket at them, and the birds would fly away, but they wouldn't shut up. As soon as she cleared those on the left, a new crew arrived to her right. Changing direction, she would shoo them away. They would circle her, squawking, and swoop down a few feet away. Within moments, the woman was flinging her arms around like a lunatic, screaming at the birds who were squawking back at her. Realizing how crazy she must have looked, she snatched her blanket from the ground and stormed out of the park. Later that evening, the woman had an opportunity to relate her experience in the park to her guru, her teacher. Her exasperation returned even in the midst of telling the story. The guru smiled and asked, "Why did you not welcome them to join you?" "How was I supposed to do that?" she asked. "Om Namah Shivaya," the guru responded, which means, "I surrender to Shiva," meaning the God within me. A few days later, the woman went back to the park. She went through the entire process again. The moment she became still, the birds began to sing. As soon as she heard them, she mentally affirmed, "Om Namah Shivaya." The birds began to squawk, "Om Namah Shivaya." It began to sound as if every bird in the state had converged on the very spot where she was sitting. She never opened her eyes. She continued to breathe deeply, affirming louder and louder in her mind, "Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya." She thought the words faster and louder, so fast and loud, in fact, that she became so mentally exhilarated that she stopped. It was then that she noticed the silence. Either the birds had flown away or simply shut up. She did not open her eyes to determine which had occurred. Why is it that we will walk into a room of screaming children and yell at the top of our lungs, "Be quiet"? If you want peace, be peace. B. Grandson Alua, age 5, is afflicted with a common childhood ailment. He cannot speak below 100 decibels. He yells as if he secretly believes that everyone in the room is hard of hearing. One day, someone in the family, due to threats of being sued for slander, I cannot reveal who, became so frustrated with him that they yelled, "Will you please be quiet?" Other people present in the room chimed in by screaming, "Thank you." His silence lasted for about 3 minutes. His next comment was made at the usual ear-piercing level. "If you want peace, be peaceful." Because I am the wise old granny, I have learned to take a completely different approach. When Alua screams at me, I crouch down to his level, put my nose directly up against his nose, smile and whisper, "I can't hear you. You are talking too loud." He didn't get it at first, but I would stay there staring at him eyeball to eyeball until he lowered his voice. Now when Alua approaches me, he usually whispers so softly I must ask him to repeat himself. He and everyone else in the family still seem to have a problem hearing one another. I watch them and I smile. If you want to experience peacefulness, you must begin from a posture of peace. One word of caution: be prepared to stay in that posture for as long as it takes. After reading today, so that was the commentary on the word peacefulness. So the next section is the journal prompt, which are my actual answers of the day that I read this. So it says, after reading today's commentary, I realize peace starts in the mind. Being able to block out everything around you to have a certain state of mind. The key phrase or phrases I want to remember and work with today are, if I want peace, be peace. All right, the next section is the morning peaceful affirmation. So these are something, as you hear me reading them, you can repeat them at the same time in your mind. I am peace, peacefully expressing myself as peacefulness. 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 Nothing can disturb this expression of peaceful 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 peacefulness. Peace is the order of this day. Peace is the order of this day. Peace is the order of this day. As I am, so it is. For this I am so grateful. The next section is Let Me Remember. To have peace, I must be peaceful. I can choose peace in all situations. Nothing in the world can disturb the peace I create within. I welcome others to join me in peace. And the next section, and I believe this is the last section for the reading tonight, is the Evening Peacefulness Journal. So these are my responses to the journal prompts on the day I read this. And remember, I was going through this book around 2018. It says, today I realized it is easy to remain peaceful when I remain in the now and just, I can't read my writing. Something the babies for being babies and not seeing them as an interference in my day. The next prompt says, I find it is difficult for me to remain peaceful when the kids are crying and whining. So I have a daycare in my home. So this particular day, I must have been a little irritable. As of this moment, I am completely at peace about, and I wrote, when I'm alone and it's quiet, where I can think and work on my moving towards my new career goals, and I'm thinking about my career goals. So that's where I was that day. I was having a hard time with the daycare children, and I was having a hard time because I wasn't in the present with them. I was focusing more on my daycare goals than I was on the children. So that's probably why I wrote in the first journal prompt that it was hard for me to remain focused on the babies. And that's true when your mind is in two places. You're going to give more attention to one than the other. And if most of your attention is falling on the one thing you really don't want to be focused on, you're going to get annoyed because you're trying to be over here when you need to just be present where you are in that moment. So that's a really good lesson, is to just be in the now, be in the moment. We can't get worried about yesterday, and we can't get caught up in tomorrow. We just have to stay right in the now. And I believe when we're worrying about yesterday, that brings anxiety. Or let me get it right. When we're worrying about the future, that disturbs our peace. And something about when we're worrying about yesterday, that brings anxiety or fear. Something like that, you guys. I'm getting it all twisted up. I will look into that and get that right for you. Hi, Coach Shena, just in time for a journal entry. Oh, cool. Hi, Lisa. So, yeah, peacefulness is like a really hard thing to come by. But the interesting thing about it is God gives it to us. Remember, He ascended up into heaven, and then He said, my peace I give to you. So we have it, but we have to exercise it, right? We can't pray for it, something God already gave us. So we have it, so we just have to exercise our peace and fight for it. And I love the scripture. I think it's Psalm 34 or Psalm 37, where it says, no matter what, live peacefully with all men. And we can also um, think of that in terms of no matter what's going on in our day, no matter who we come in contact with, no matter what's going on, we can have peace. We can absolutely have peace about everything that's happening. We might not like it. We might not like it, but God has given us peace. Yeah, Lisa, and it's a beautiful thing because it's always with us, and it can calm us because God is peace. He is peace, and if He lives in us, then why are we fretting? Why are we anxious? Why are we worried? Why are we so concerned about tomorrow when we can just focus on today and just walk in that comfort of knowing that God is peace and He's with us. So that's pretty cool. And I liked the affirmation, even though it was redundant. It just kind of calms me down and just focuses me on just being present. And I want to thank, I believe it was Tracy Ann and Acacia, because you can see in the corner, like if I point down right here, the music stand my daughter pulled out for me. And last night I was, complaining a little bit about my neck hurting from bending down. So this was a great solution, and I wouldn't have even thought of it. So I guess the clarinet lessons were not in vain, because now look at that. Look how God is using this stand for this purpose. And my daughter was involved in it. And actually, she was helping me set up the live stream, and my 16-year-old has patience that will last about 2 seconds. So she was writing the word she was typing the word peacefulness in the title, and she was messing up the C kept being an S or something. And I mean, you would have thought like the world was ending when I was like, it will just take 2 seconds to correct it. But by the time the stand got up, she was done. She was done. And it was funny because when she was setting it up, there's like a little latch on the stand, and the whole thing crashed down. And I'm like, oh my gosh, blessing, that can't happen when I'm reading. So then we're going through and setting up the live stream. So then I brought my tea upstairs. So I have my tea here, and I set it down right here. So then she wants to be funny and like has the stand collapse again, and the tea's right there. I'm like, you play too much. You really do. And then I don't know, she just was goofing around, but the stand didn't fall and my neck didn't hurt tonight. So praise God. And I love how God used you all to help me come up with a solution. So that's really it. Amen. Jesus is the Prince of Peace, and He lives within us. He does. He's so good. Tracy Ann, you're a moderator. So I was listening to the live from last night after I read the Tuck-in Time, and I fell asleep listening to it. So I've got to go back because I missed that part and I caught it tonight. So congratulations. I think that's really awesome how God's using you there. And great use of the musicians, I would say. We've been learning through Dee to use, repurpose, and use what we have. I know that's right. That's so true. That's so true. I got my book in the mail. My oh, now I can't even think of the name of the book. The wealth. Oh my God, Doctor. Oh, no, look, that looks really bad. I cannot think of the name of the book, but the book, Dr. Dennis Kimbro's book came in the mail. I got it yesterday, so that's really good because I kept renewing the one at the library. I said, Shena, you have got to get serious. I'm typing without my glasses. Oh, I understand that. You can't see a thing. You can't see a thing, Tracy Ann, if you're anything like me. You can't see a thing at all. The Wealth Choice, that's the name of the book. Mine came in the mail. So after I was swimming today with Bren, my daughter got her license. So now she just wants to take the car everywhere. So she had a training at work. So she dropped us off to swim at my mom's husband's house. Yes, she has a whole husband at 74. And I had time to work on my finances and to read a little bit while I was waiting for her to come back. So that was my day. And then I caught Lisa's live, but then I was late getting on here because I got caught up in Tony Gaskin's video about why some women are overlooked. Did you guys watch that one? Tracy, and I can see you now trying to see the screen. It's so funny. But I got caught up watching Tony's video. And I remember I just started laughing because he said, take notes, don't get offended. And he got to the part where, like, these are the girls who got all the Valentines at school and the little things on their desk. I never got one. I never got the flower. I never got the cards all through elementary, all through junior high. I never did. I never did. So did anyone else get anything on their desk, or is it just me? But it had me laugh. It had me laugh. Yeah, you saw. Lisa, did you get anything on your desk when you were in school? I never did. I sure did. And then you know how I think it's torture. In elementary school, they have the roller skating parties. Did they have that in your area? Well, they had the roller skating parties, and no one ever asked me to roller skate either. I mean, I think they set these things up to traumatize children. It was pretty bad. Can you see me through the hole? That's hilarious. You guys are so cute. I love listening, reading the comments, and watching your relationship grow. It's amazing. It's so cute. So cute. No, I never got cards and stuff. Yeah, I didn't either. I didn't finish Tony's video. I said, "Oh, look at the time. I need to get a shower." Oh, Lisa, can you tell I've got Marie clothes on? Your grandmother's all over me, and I go to bed at night with Marie clothes on. So I still want to get the lavender though because that is relaxing, but it's definitely working. And then blessing, and then I'm gonna go to bed. Blessing was like, why is the stand like that? Did you just touch the stand because of the the stuff on the butter? So I touched the stand, and then she could tell. So I'm like, listen, the stand is anointed now. The stand that I read on is anointed with Marie clothes. And that's that. I didn't get anything on my desk from boys, anyways. No. Okay, so we're all in the same boat here. Anyways, I got to go back and listen to the rest of the video. He's always making such good points. I think that's great. So that's it for today. I'm so glad you guys popped on. I hope you got something out of the reading. And yeah, I'm going to go to bed. And I hope you guys get a good night's sleep and let the Lord just relax you and just feel his presence tonight. And just remember that you're beautiful in God's sight, no matter if you got no flowers on your desk. That does not matter at all because, even Tony said God thinks everybody looks good. And we do. We really do. We really do. So with that, you're welcome, Lisa Smiles. You are Coach Shay. Yeah, like shea butter. I feel that way. Good night, Tracy Ann. I love you, ladies. And yeah, just keep being amazing, keep being fabulous, and keep serving the Lord. Right? All right. Good night. Now, I hope I shut this thing off because last time they said